Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, I'm going to start a conversation about how to win in a recession. For the first part, we're going to talk about how to secure your job and how to start saving by creating your budget. If you are new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have traveled the world, I own 2 homes in Spain, and I'm on a creative journey to financial independence. I believe the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope you'll subscribe and join me on this journey, no matter where you are starting from. In the news, we are constantly hearing about how the recession is affecting people in different ways. Some people have lost their jobs, others have had to file for bankruptcy, and if you're not seeing it yet, you just have to rewind your mind to 2008. But what does this mean for your finances? How can you make the most of a recession and actually come out ahead? It may seem difficult, but it is definitely possible. One of the proudest moments I've had in my financial life was right after the COVID-19 pandemic began. I remember my dad calling me and saying that the Carnival Cruise Line stock, CCL, had taken a hit. He told me that at its highs, the stock had been around $60 and it was now down to around $17 per share. I watched the Carnival stock for the next few days. When it hit around $14 per share, I bought $500 of the stock. A little bit later, it declined even more and was at the $8 mark. Instead of being upset about my first investment in Carnival being low, I saw it as an opportunity and purchased another $1,500. Around a year later, I more than doubled my investment and sold the stock at $23 per share. Now, there was a time before I sold it that it reached over $30 per share. But I wasn't mad at myself for not selling then. Trying to time the market perfectly is just impossible. I was happy with making more than 100% on my investment. I'm not saying that in a 2022 recession you should go and buy a bunch of different stocks and hope to make 100%. What I am saying is that the best time to buy stock is when the stock market is in a downturn. There is no better time to buy than in a recession when the stock market takes a hit. Before we dive into the specifics of what to do in a recession, let's take a quick second to talk about what a recession actually is. Technically, a recession is official when there are 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth. So if the gross domestic product, which is the GDP, is decreasing for 2 quarters in a row, that means we are in a recession. This can be caused by many different things, such as a decrease in consumer spending, an increase in unemployment, or I'm sure you've heard recently about the rise of inflation coupled with the rise of interest rates. All of these factors matter and determine what parts of the economy are impacted the most. Now, I'm going to talk in a later episode about how to really get ahead in a recession, but the first thing we should cover is protecting the income you're already earning. In some cases, there is no avoiding job loss. Some companies may go out of business, and as an employee, there is nothing you can do about that. But if a company has to begin to look at who to let go of and who to keep, what makes you stand out? The best way that you can work to protect your employment is by making yourself more valuable. And one of the best ways to make yourself more valuable is by skilling up. In some cases, you may need to take courses or make a financial investment, but don't always think that that is the case. I'll give you an example. I don't have a degree, but I'm the head of communications for a nonprofit. When I began in communications, I knew how to do graphic design and I was self-taught. Since then, I have also taught myself how to do web design, video editing, copywriting, and more. There are so many free resources for learning new skills, and then all you have to do is practice. Now, I didn't do these things for the purpose of job security. I genuinely love to learn. But in my opinion, making yourself more valuable by learning new skills that pertain to your industry is one of the best ways to give yourself job security or to improve your resume for other companies in your industry if your company ends up going out of business. Okay, so now that we've covered trying to stay employed in a recession, let's talk about how to make progress and get ahead. If there was any time that I would call the best time to reduce your expenses and to find ways to make extra income, a recession is the time to do that. Today, let's talk about reducing your expenses. Start with making a list. In one column, write your fixed expenses. In the next column, write your flexible expenses. Fixed expenses are things like your mortgage payment, rent, car payment, insurance, etc. These are items that generally cost the same amount every month or year. This would also include subscription accounts like Spotify, Netflix, Amazon, and more. The first question you can ask yourself is if there is any room in these fixed expenses for you to save, or do you need some of these accounts at all? Maybe you can refinance your mortgage. Maybe you can get quotes and find a lower car insurance premium. Maybe you can cancel your Audible account because you haven't used it in the last 3 months and you can download books for free from the library. If you take the time, there is probably a lot of room for you to save just in your fixed expenses. The next thing I want you to do is to take a look at your flexible expenses. This would be line items like your groceries, eating out, entertainment, shopping for items like clothes, and anything else that you spend money on every month that is outside of your fixed expenses. Maybe you can shop at Walmart or Aldi for groceries instead of the more expensive stores in your region. Personally, I buy my dry goods on Walmart.com. I use my Walmart Capital One credit card that gives me 5% cash back, which I only recommend using if you're actually good about paying off your card in full every month. And then I shop at a place called Fancy Fruits for my produce and cheese. Most cities will have chains like this that are local, work with local farmers, have good quality and a wide variety of produce, but also are far less expensive than shopping at the actual fancy grocery stores. On occasion, I'll pick up a few other items at Aldi. For anyone who may not be aware, Aldi does not have an S at the end, just Aldi. I get about $10 a month in cash back from my online Walmart purchases, and I save at least $200 per month by shopping at less expensive stores over what I would spend at the high-end grocery store here in Florida. That is $210 per month, and I never even have to walk into a Walmart. I want you to think about this if you are really wanting to get serious about your finances. $210 per month invested for 40 years in the S&P 500 at a 10% return rate would give you over $1 million. I want you to think about that. Is your grocery shopping capable of keeping you from being a millionaire? In addition to your groceries, look at your other spending habits and put yourself on a spending diet. It doesn't mean you have to fully restrict yourself, but you just need to take a look at what's most important and remove the things that don't really serve a purpose. I have another idea for you. Maybe you've been saving to go on a vacation, or worse, maybe you were planning to take a vacation and throw it all on a credit card. Instead of spending $1,000 to stay at a hotel or Airbnb for a week, what if you watched after a cat or a dog in exchange for staying at a beautiful house for free? And then you took that $1,000 and invested it or started your emergency fund. You wouldn't believe the beautiful homes available for pet sitting on trusted house sitters. Another idea is something called home exchange. You trade homes with another family somewhere else in the world during a period of vacation. There are some really cool platforms, and my personal favorite is People Like Us Home Exchange. They have a really cool community of people, and some of the homes are just jaw-dropping. My point is that there are a lot of ways to save if you really put your mind to it. Now, if you're going to give yourself a set amount of money to spend on groceries or entertainment each week, make sure that you either track it or that you pay yourself that money into a specific account. And when the money runs out, no more spending. There isn't really much point in making a budget if you aren't going to hold yourself accountable to it. If you aren't already familiar, there is an app called Mint. You can safely connect your bank accounts, investment accounts, loan accounts, credit cards, and more. You can also list the value of the property you own, like your houses and cars. You can see your entire financial portfolio at a glance. From this app, you can build a budget, start saving for an emergency fund, and a lot of other options for tracking your finances. I don't get anything for recommending them. I'm just a fan of the app and see how some people would really thrive by using it. There is also an app called Good Budget where you can use the app to run the envelope system. The envelope system was made popular many years ago. The idea was that when you get paid, you would put cash into different envelopes. You might have an envelope for your set bills, another envelope for your groceries, another envelope for miscellaneous items, and so on. Using this method, you would only use as much cash as you had in each envelope for that month. Well, obviously, we're not in a world of using much cash anymore. So, this app allows you to have digital envelopes and then you track your expenses in each envelope. The free version of the app allows you to use 10 regular envelopes and another 10 additional envelopes that you can name whatever you want. Just don't forget to have an envelope for savings and an envelope for investing. I hope you'll subscribe and join me for the rest of this series. The next video is going to be all about the hustle during the recession and how to win with your hustle. Give this video a like and join me every Sunday where travel and adventure build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.